Belief is something, it's not, I can't tell you, oh, believe in yourself. That's a bunch of crap. Belief came from me, was going through those hell weeks, taping those legs up, getting up early in the morning by myself, no coach, getting myself up, motivating myself every single day. When I'm out there in 240-mile runs and I don't want to be out there and I'm 90 miles into it and I have 150 miles to go and no one's there saying, come on, David, I'm forming belief. Many people form belief in many different ways. For me, this is how I do it. So when those hard times come my way, I know exactly how to get through them. When I first I self-published my book, Can't Hurt Me. No one believed in me. I believed in myself. I sold almost 5 million copies of that. Now Never Finished just case is coming out December 6th. Never Finished, I guarantee you, the audio book will probably go down as probably one of the best audio books. It sounds cocky as hell of all time. It's truly amazing what we put into that book because of how I've lived my life. A lot of people come up here and speak about motivation and pushing yourself. And they're not doing it. They're not waking up every single day. They have a canned speech they go off and they tell you about what to do, how to do it. Wake up every morning, make your bed, take a cold shower, all that crap. I'm telling you right now, you have to be that person that leads from the front. Many of you out here are in leadership positions. And many of our leaders right now are not leading from the front. They're leading from the rear, but they're telling you how to do it. They're waking up late. They're not doing what they say. So in life, it's real important to do what you say because that's where true knowledge comes from. And when I was going through Navy SEAL training, there's one thing I told myself. I wanted to quit every single day. But many dreams die while suffering. And many of us out here have suffered. And when you're suffering, I'm not talking about just physically. I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually. It could be a relationship. When you're suffering, you give up on the very things that you wanted the most. When I was going through pararescue, I wanted to be a pararescueman so bad. But that water haunted me. So when the suffering got too much, my dream died. And pretty much I almost died with it. If I didn't find Navy SEALs and getting past that hump and overcoming my demons and facing my demons every day, I would have never been up here today. You can't outrun your demons. They'll always know where you're hiding. Trust me at that. And I'm going to end with this. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Well, maximize minimal potential. That's exactly who this guy is up here. I was born in Buffalo, New York. My dad was a very abusive man. Didn't care about anything but himself. So what happens is when you grow up in a toxic environment, you grow up with having limited horizons. My dad was a very stressed out person, insecure person. So what he did was he picked on the weak. And the weak was my mom, myself, and my brother. So growing up, several beatdowns. I don't have much time, but I'm going to explain to you one beatdown that I had that kind of changed everything for my mom. So my mom would get beat alongside me and my brother. There was one time my dad beat the hell out of my mom, knocked her out on the top of the stairs, drug her down the stairs by her hair, and at 8 years old, I jumped on his back. He beat the hell out of me when I did that. Fast forward to the next morning, I was supposed to go to school. The bruises on my body were so bad that I didn't sleep in my pajamas. My mom pulled the covers out. Hey, time to go to school, David. She saw black and blue all over me, bruised up. She's like, I can't take this anymore. So she was in that toxic environment for 16, 17 years. We left to a small town, Brazil, Indiana. Brazil, Indiana is a small town. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. A lot of great people there. But the Klan at the time was about 12 miles from where I lived in Brazil, Indiana. So in 1994, we had the KKK marching in our 4th of July parade. When I was going to high school, they spray painted "nigger, we're gonna kill you" on my car. I had a very toxic life growing up. So with that, I never went to school. I hated school, didn't go to school. So if you don't go to school, you're not going to learn much. But I became very crafty at a young age. I realized for me to survive, I had to find ways to fudge the system. And how I got through school was I copied. I copied on every single assignment. So here we go. Fast forward, I want to join the military. But I had no idea to join the military, you had to take an ASVAB test. Had no idea. I thought you had to do push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, stuff like that. So here I am. I walk in the recruiter's office. He's like, hey, you ready for this ASVAB test? And whenever I heard tests, my butt would pucker up because I was always scared of them. So I always had my good buddy, Johnny. I copied off him going through school. So what I did was I told the recruiter, hang on a second, I'm going to take it tomorrow. So I go home, get my buddy Johnny, and say, hey, I need you to take this ASVAB test beside me. He's like, why? I go, I'm trying to get in the military. So he goes with me to the ASVAB test taking center, and I'm sitting there, and I look over, and the drill instructor's passing out all these tests. I look over at Johnny's test. He has test A, and I have test B. So I can't copy off of Johnny. So I take the test, I bomb it. Go back a month later, bomb the test again. So now, in this whole process, I realized one thing. I'm not going to be able to cheat to get through this test. I'm going to have to now find something more in myself. Cheating's not going to do it. So my mom got me several tutors when I was growing up. None of them worked. This is the funny thing about when you change your mindset, when you truly want to do something. So I wanted to go in the military. She gave me one more tutor. I had a tutor for 6 months, got back, passed the ASVAB test.